the Google umbrella. So let's see what the first one comes up with. Remember we said characters start floating, as you can see. That is so gangster. That is actually so sick. Welcome everyone to the absolute best Whisk AI tutorial on YouTube, and the reason why I'll explain it more in detail as we go on, but I'm going to be explaining every single feature within Whisk AI. But not only that, I'm going to be providing some examples so you guys can actually see, okay, this feature looks like this feature looks like this. But then not only that, at the end of the video I'm going to show you guys an example of an entire project that I made using Whisk AI. Obviously there's some editing and stuff to polish it up at the end, but all of the material you're going to be seeing inside of that project is entirely created using Whisk AI. Videos like these guys are actually one of my favorite types of videos to make, and the reason why is because I'm going to be walking through a software and application, stuff like that I actually use every single day. I actually use Whisk AI so much that I feel perfectly comfortable going through literally each different feature and showing you guys examples and talking about everything without trying to yap about stuff that I don't actually know about. So without further ado, let's actually get into it. The first thing that I want to say, guys, is obviously come to the website that I'm on right here. If you don't know how to get there, you don't want to search it in yourself, I'll have a link in the description as always, so just click on that link, open it up, and make sure that you're on the same page that I'm on. But once you're on this page, on the top right hand corner there'll be a button that says sign in with Google. That's pretty much what I do every time, so just sign in and then we can talk about how to actually use the platform. Alright guys, so at this point I'm assuming all of you guys are logged in and we're all on the exact same home page front screen right here, and it says enter tool, create some magic, whatever. But before we do that, I do want to show you guys this whole page here is kind of like interactive, so you can actually go through and you can see different images and different animations right here that were created using Whisk. So for example, you can see this was created using Whisk, this was created using Whisk, this animation was animated using Whisk. As you can see, there's a button that says make your own. So if you want to, you can just scroll down, you can actually see the possibilities of when you use this software. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Now let's get into the actual tool. So we're going to click enter tool right here, and then this is where the magic actually starts happening. So you're going to be met with, just going to give you a tutorial on a bunch of stuff, whatever, cool. And then this is the primary interface that you're going to be using. There's a couple different sections, but I'm going to explain it and walk you guys through it step by step. Now, first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to get some of like the housekeeping, just quick settings out of the way. So if you go to the top right hand corner where your icon will be, there'll be a section here, obviously sign out, signs out, manage account is to manage your account. My library is going to be the section where all of your image generations and video generations and different project titles actually go into. So if you are missing, you feel like I generated an image but it's not here before, chances are it was in a previous project, so you just go to my library in order to find that. Then the AI credits is going to be how many credits you know how many credits that you have. It's self-explanatory. But the one thing that I will say is that even though this says 0 AI credits, I've never actually had to purchase any credits, so I'm not even sure what type of credits they use. But if you do want to upgrade your account, obviously just click upgrade. It'll open up the Google One thing, and then you can upgrade to whatever it says. Ain't nobody paying this, I'll tell you that much, at least not me. It got me all kinds of thing, and I'm finna pay that. But yeah guys, so if it says 0 AI credits, don't think that you need to upgrade, because watch, I'm literally going to generate stuff here and you'll see I literally have 0 AI credits and I'll still be able to generate things. So who knows what that is. In the top right hand corner here, there's also a question mark. This will just lead you to the help center. As you can see, help center FAQ. I'll actually open it up for you guys just so you can see the layout and everything. It actually can be good if you're a noob to all of this stuff. You can go through and you can, you know, go through all of these frequently asked questions, see if there's anything that can actually help you, but we're not going to need it for today, so let's get out of that. The Discord server, if you want to join the Discord, talk in the community, whatever, I'm sure it's helpful. I don't actually use it myself. Library is the same thing I showed you guys before, so that's all the little settings out the way. Now real quick guys, I'm just going to briefly explain these three sections in the top middle right here that you can see. So this is going to be the default, the one that we have selected right here, and this is basically going to be the interface by which you actually create all of your image generations. So think of this as just the image generation panel, I guess. The middle one, as you can see with the little camera emblem, is going to be where all of your video generations are going to be. As you can see, it says no videos right here. And then after that, the third and final panel just to the right that you can see, this little love heart icon, as you can kind of guess, is basically where all of your favorites go. So if you generate an image or you generate an animation that you really like and you want to save it to a folder in a way, then you can just click the love heart icon, you guys will see in a second here, and it'll end up in this section where you can see all of your favorite images and animations. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the image tab right here, and we're going to get into actually some of the main features that I know you guys have been waiting for at this point. So down in the little, what do you call this, like tool, I don't know what you call it, man, the prompt box, I guess, there's a few different settings at the bottom that you can see. This setting right here is basically going to be like, as you can see, it's a dice. It's meant to be like a randomization almost. You can see it says describe your idea or roll the dice for prompt ideas. This is the dice right here. So if you roll this dice, it'll give you a pre-generated prompt that the system comes up with. So for example, a stylish suit carved out of dead wood with, I don't know, lichen and mushrooms, high quality, high resolution studio lighting. Let's actually see what that creates. And just for the fun of it, let's see. The setting to the side of that is going to be the aspect ratio. So you've got 3 different settings. You've got square, 1:1, which is like just like an Instagram post, I guess. You've got portrait, which is like TikTok, and then you've got landscape, which is like YouTube. We're just going to keep it landscape for now. That looks pretty gangster, let's be honest. I have no clue what lichen is, but I mean, looks pretty gangster. Anyway, the third setting here, just to the right of the aspect ratio setting, is going to be 2 different settings. So we've got the seed. Now, if you guys have used any type of image generation, AI image generation model before, then you know that the seed is basically the unique code that's generated whenever you create an image. So for example, if this is the seed for whatever, this image right here on the left-hand side, and I want to create something that's similar to that image, then I'll use that seed because it kind of gives you a baseline. It starts off by referencing that image almost. So you know whatever you get, whatever result you're going to get is going to be pretty similar to the seed that you put in, if that makes any sense. Now we've got the setting to the right, which is really self-explanatory. It's just the type of quality that you want to use. You can either use best quality or just quality. I pretty much always just use best quality myself, so we're going to keep that right there. And then after that, we've got the generate button. So once you've got all the settings that you want and you put in the prompt that you want, you literally just click the arrow and then you generate the image or the animation. Now I know that you guys have probably been wondering, okay, you ignored the button on the left-hand side which says add images. Well, there's a reason why I ignored it up until now. And that's because when you click on this, it opens up the Pandora's box of what makes Whisk AI actually Whisk AI and why they even named it Whisk AI in the first place. So let me click this and you'll see a toolbar on the left hand side opens up. Now let me explain why I can assume that they call it Whisk. So obviously the whisk, like the kitchen utensil, is what you use to mix things together and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that they named it that because this left-hand side toolbar panel here, it allows you to connect different images in order for the system to kind of get an idea for the image that you're trying to create overall. So you can input a subject that you want. It could be a human, it could be a dog, whatever it is that you want the image to focus on. Then you've got the scene. Maybe you want it to be in a room or a library or a forest or I don't know, on the pyramids or something like that. That's what you put there. And then the style is if you want it to be like ultra realistic or anime or old school photography or whatever, stuff like that. And the best part about this is that not only can you generate these not only can you generate the reference images yourselves. For example, you'll see in a second here, when I do enter text, I can actually use a prompt to generate the reference image that'll be used as the reference for whatever image that I generate after that, but you can also upload it directly from your computer. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you guys how to do each of these things. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to show you guys how to do for these reference images is simply just rolling the dice to randomize whatever reference image that it generates. After that, I'm going to show you guys how to enter the text prompt, and then the last thing we're going to show you is how to just upload it directly from your computer. It's all pretty simple though. So as you can see, you've got the dice icon in the top corner here. You just click that and it's going to generate a random image. Then we do it for this one as well. Generate a random, that looks fuck gangster. And then we generate this one, and now you can see, so we've got the subject, which is the telephone. We've got the scene, which is kind of like in underworld, like Atlantis almost. And then you've got the style. Now that style's ass, I'll be honest. I'm just going to do that again. As you can see right here, guys, I should mention this too. When you do click the randomize button, or even when you add another reference image for that matter, whatever method that you choose to add the reference image, it'll just add to the image that you already had created before. So if you don't want to mix those two together, for example, if I was to generate an image using both of these, then it would kind of combine the styles together. But I don't want to do that. So in this case, what I'll do is, it's already unchecked, but I'll just uncheck this button right here, and then I'll switch it to that one. So for example, you can do that, or if you simply just want to get rid of it altogether, then you can simply click the bin icon right here, and it'll get rid of it altogether, which is what I want to do. I actually think this style kind of matches the scenery, so I'm going to go with this. I'm not sure how it's going to integrate this old school phone into this scene, but let's actually see. So let's go ahead we're not going to do any prompt because all I want to do right now is I want to see how these three images combine to form a phone inside of Atlantis with the style of like a cool painting, I guess. So let's actually see. Let me generate that and see what it comes up with. Alright guys, so the generations are finished and there you go. It literally could not be any more perfect. You can see obviously both images have the subject right there, which is the phone. Then you've got the underwater type of setting, the Atlantis type of vibe, and then the style is obviously this painting type of style, which I didn't actually like as much as I thought I would. I kind of wanted to do. We're not going to do it again. I'm not going to waste any more time. This is why I get carried away on Whisk, because there's so many different things that you can do. But let me just delete all of these again because I want to show you guys different ways that you can add the reference images. So now I've shown you guys how to do it randomly using the dice icon. Now we're going to enter a text prompt. And by the way guys, if you want to know how to actually prompt things better, not only for the reference images but for the whole image generation in general, then you can always head on over to my free community here. Let me actually open up, where is it? Store page. Okay, I'm not prepared guys, just deal with it. Cool. We're up to 642 members now, which is pretty sick. I'm looking to get to 1,000 hopefully sometime within the next couple months. But yeah guys, once you join the community and you actually head on over to this learn tab right here, you click on it and then it'll come up with all of these different files, and these files are I'm adding to it every single time that I come up with something and that I learn something. So there's a bunch of different resources that you guys can use. You can literally see there's an AI prompts cheat sheet right here. So if you want to know how to get started with AI and that type of stuff, then join the community. It's completely free. Whatever, cool. Let's get back to it. Now what I was going to do is I was going to enter text right here. For the sake of simplicity guys, I'm literally just going to do all of this as simply as possible. So let's just say a basketball. That's literally it. That's my prompt. And then the scene, should I do something crazy? Let's do something crazy. Let's test it. Let's say a snowy mountain, because that makes no sense. A basketball on a snowy mountain. And then for the style, I'll do a bit of foreshadowing right here. I'll do anime style. You actually don't need to say star right there, but I guess same thing, it doesn't really matter. So we've got the basketball right there, we've got the snowy mountain, and then in a second here it should generate an anime styled image. 2 seconds. And there we go. So we've got our 3 reference images right there. We're going to do the exact same thing just so I can demonstrate to you guys again without any single prompt for image generation, because we just wanted to kind of mesh together these 3 reference images. And then I'm going to show you guys once it finishes generating. Alright guys, so here you go. These are the 2 images we just generated. The one on the right is pretty cool, but the one on the left nailed the anime style. That is literally pretty much perfect. It's got even the seams of the basketball correctly. The pattern is exactly the same. Snowy mountain. That is fucking sick. Okay, so that is example number 2. Now we're going to get rid of all of these once again, and I'm going to show you guys the third and final way that you can add reference images, which is going to be directly from your computer. Alright guys, so honestly I could not be getting images for each of these different categories right here, so what I'm going to do is I will get one of them off my computer, which is the one you guys have seen a few different times on this channel by now, which is the Goku Super Saiyan 4, and we're going to use him as the subject for our next image generation. But for the other 2, what we're going to do is let's just randomize the scene. I don't really care. That is so fucking sick. But then for the style, I'm actually just curious to see what this looks like. So let's just say ultra realistic photograph. And so what it should do right here, okay, this is going to be way too trippy because I don't think Goku's meant to be seen as an ultra realistic human. But not only that, this floating castle in the sky, this house moving castle type of thing, is going to be ultra realistic as well. So again, same thing. Let's just go ahead and generate right here, and I'll come back to you guys once it finishes generating. Alright guys, so it's not too bad here, but as you can see, this is the first one that it's actually had some like struggle on. So I kind of want to mess with this one more time. So I'm going to click this button right here. I should mention it too. This is what you call the refine button. So if you want to edit something, if you're not happy with the reference image that you used, then you can go right here, and I'm going to say photo realistic. And that's all that I'm going to say actually. So it's going to generate these 2 other reference images, and I get to select basically which one that I want to use for my next image generation. And as you can see guys here in this bottom tab right here, there's also another option to add additional details. We're not going to do that. We're just doing simple examples for now. But what looks photorealistic? I mean, let's just go with this, whatever. I'm not trying to get everything perfect. So let's generate one more time and let's see if it has a better understanding of it being ultra realistic. Alright guys, so these are the two new image generations here, as you can see, and it kind of did the exact same thing as before, but I'm going to leave this in because this is what you guys need to understand when using all these AI tools, is that it's not going to be the exact 100% thing that you're looking for each and every time. So if I was actually trying to create something here, I would simply mess around with the style a little bit more. I would probably change the scene to be an ultra realistic scene as well, because here's something that you guys have to understand. If you kind of think of it like this, okay, you kind of think of it as the subject takes up a third, the scene takes up a third, the style takes up a third, and they combine to create 3/3 obviously to form a whole, then what you're kind of getting in this equation right here is that there's two different thirds that are kind of a cartoon image almost, and there's only one that's kind of photorealistic. So what I would change is I would change the scene to be a photorealistic scene as well. But we are not going to do that because I do not want to get carried away here. The last thing that I want to show on this panel on the left hand side is the fact that there is a plus icon in the top right hand corner of all of the three different categories. Now if you click this plus icon, all that it simply allows you to do is add further reference images, and the best use case for this that I've found so far is if you have multiple characters or multiple subjects. For example, you have two friends or something, then you'd simply just repeat the process that you did for the first reference image and then add another one for the second character and repeat everything again, which I'm not going to do because I've already shown you guys how to do everything. You simply just do it one more time. Alright, cool. So we've gone through basically all of the fundamentals of how to create these images. Let me just delete all of these right here. There is something else that I want to show you guys, which is kind of like just a way to get the feel, get the hang of what you're doing on this platform. So now if you click this load template button, it'll come up with this drop down menu of all these different templates that you can actually use to generate your own images. So for example, you've got a sticker, an enamel pin, whatever the that is. You got a plushie, you got a card, you got a chocolate box, a capsule toy, and a bento box. So we're just going to choose the bento box for this example, and as you can see, it'll automatically fill out the style with the template that you selected. Now we're going to leave the subject and the scene blank, and what we're actually going to do this time is we're going to use the prompt box in the bottom middle. And so we're going to just say, I mean, we're doing a Goku image right here, so let's just say, Dragon Ball Z characters. And so what it should do now is it should simply use the style of image that we selected in the template box in order to generate, I guess, the prompt that we're creating right here. So it should essentially just be like Dragon Ball Z characters in the form of a bento box. How sick is that? So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. You can mess around with whatever templates that you want to use here, and at the end of the day, you can kind of create your own. Why did it just get me out of there? Not sure why I did that, but at the end of the day, guys, you can kind of create your own templates using the style thing. Again, if I wanted to get to the same project that it just X'd me out of for some reason, then I would go to my library and I'd open up that project, which I might actually do. Give me 1 second. So we're back in the same project that we were just using. I'm not sure why it kicked me out right there, but I basically showed you guys all the different image generation stuff. Now let's get into the actual animation. The last thing I want to say before I get into the animation stuff, guys, is that I have just opened up this whole like consultation thing. I'm just testing it out, see if you guys want to do it or not. It's a 30-minute one-on-one consultation if you want to have a video meeting directly with me. It obviously costs $50. I'm not going any cheaper than that. Don't give a single if you want to do it, then do it. If not, then don't. Cool. Now let's get into the animation side of things, okay? So, I mean, we're just going to animate this image right here, although I'm not even sure how animation is going to work with such a stationary image. So let me click animate, and it's going to take you up to this animation like interface, I guess. Now over here, all you want to do, like it says, give it some animation. What would you like to see? So we're going to try to keep it simple, and we're going to say, let's just say characters start floating. I have no idea what it's going to come up with right here. Alright guys, so as you guys just saw when I tried to animate it, it said I didn't have enough credit. So what I'm going to do here very simply, I'm just going to log into another account of mine. And what we're going to do, it's actually a good time for me to show you guys this feature. You can click on this button in the bottom right hand corner in order to kind of get a link. As you can see right here, if you create a link, and then you copy that link, you can use that link in any other account or whatever in order to basically go to the exact same image that you generated in another account. So we're going to copy that link, and I'm going to use that in another account to basically get the same image. Alright guys, so we have logged into another account right here. We're going to paste that URL into the top, and we're going to enter, and then it should load up the exact same image that I had in the previous account. As you can see, there it is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say make your own, and then we're going to click animate right here. And then we're going to put in the exact same prompt. We're going to say characters start floating. And then generate, and it should generate an animation right here. There we go. Oops, I accidentally did two. This doesn't actually take that long compared to other image video generation platforms, but I will be back with you guys. It'll probably take like 20-30 seconds, so I'll be back with you guys just in 1 sec here. Alright guys, so both of the generations have finished here, as you can see, and one thing that I should mention, if it means anything to any of you guys, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, the watermark that says VO, obviously since this is Google Whisk, the video generation model that he uses is Google VO, and then obviously I should say the image generation model that he uses is Imagen, because it's all under the Google umbrella. So let's see what the first one comes up with. Remember we said characters start floating, as you can see. That is so gangster. That is actually so sick. Like, it's perfect. And then let's go to the second one. Let's see. I don't think it's really going to be able to beat that. Wait, that's actually better. That's actually literally better. It literally, if you guys know anything about Dragon Ball Z, it nailed the boots actually that they wear. So that's literally perfect, guys. You've seen it firsthand. All you have to do is prompt it exactly what you want it to say. Remember, if you guys are trying to direct some, like, I don't know, movie trailer or something, you are going to have to say the whole, the camera is panning towards the right, it's zooming out slowly, like all that type of stuff. You will have to be specific. For this image, for this generation, I was just being as simple as I could be. Remember, guys, if you do want to learn how to prompt properly, then join the free community. We have plenty of stuff in there to learn how to do it. Cool, so now I've shown you guys the video generation. Let's head on back to the image generation, because there's a couple things that I need to show you guys to wrap this stuff up. So as you can see right here, we've got the original Dragon Ball Z image that we used at the start, a couple different buttons. Now this button right here, the down arrow with whatever that is, it's simply just a download. I'm sure you guys have seen the icon before. Just if you want to download the image, then click that. The heart icon is what I was referring to earlier on in the video, where if you click that, it'll actually go into your favorites folder. So you can see right here, I just click the icon and it shows up right here. Because you have to keep in mind, guys, you're going to be generating tons of images and videos. Just make sure you're, I guess, favoriting whatever it is that you like. So at the end, you can go through and you can kind of refer back to all of the favorite images and videos that you created. Then on the left hand side, you simply got the bin if you want to delete it. You've also got if you want to flag it for whatever type of content. I don't know who actually has time to do that. You've got the animate button, which I showed you guys already. Then we've got two more buttons. The first one is going to be refine. So this one is going to be if it mostly got whatever image you wanted to generate correct, but there's some certain aspect that isn't correct. So for example, let's say I don't want it to actually say Dragon Ball Z in the background. Let's say remove the Dragon Ball Z sign. Okay, I can't. In the image. So now what it should go ahead and do is it should keep it mostly the same, but it should just be removing the Dragon Ball Z sign, and everything else should look pretty similar. Alright, so as you can see here, it kept the style of the image the same, and it did remove the Dragon Ball Z sign, but to be honest with you, it kind of changed the characters, so it's not even Dragon Ball Z anymore. I will be honest with you guys, I've used this refine feature in the past before, and it has been complete ass, so I'll be honest with you guys, I'll just stay away from it, and instead what I'll do is I'll make sure that I'm generating the image I want to generate correctly from the get-go, instead of trying to alter it after the fact. Cool, so now let's go back to the image panel or tab or whatever, and let's show you guys the last button right here, which is going to be this button. And when you click it, it'll basically show up the exact prompt that you used in order to create the image. Not really anything too much to go into right here. That's pretty much all the buttons. That's pretty much everything. Now guys, it's time for me to show you the whole project that I was working on, that I referred to at the start of the video, which is going to be an anime intro that I created entirely using Whisk generations.
Hippites no 雑音